You didn't sleep again, Loro. I can tell by the way you're holding your hands. Your fingers are too still for a man who's rested. You take her testimony every night, but you forget that even a detective needs sleep.
Sleep is a luxury for people who aren't afraid of missing the one piece of evidence that matters. Someone got to the dead drop before me, took the answer, and left me a logo instead of a signature. That empty SecuroServ case wasn't an accident, Doc.
Or maybe they didn't leave you in absence. Maybe they left you a direction. Sometimes the missing evidence speaks louder than the evidence itself, especially when it's arranged that carefully.
Avi Schwartzman talked about no way, autonomous taxis, and eyes watching the city without eyelids. But SecuroServ doesn't just watch. They get there first. The only question is who they were covering for this time.
There is one operative, but I have to warn you, she doesn't work for us, and her loyalty belongs to people who pay millions for silence.
Almost nobody in this case works for us, Eliza. I don't care whose flag is on her patch. How do I get to her? Ronan never looked for the easy way in, but he always knew where to find the right people in the wrong places. Tequi-la-la was the heart of old Vinewood, a heart attack waiting to happen, still pulsing with dirty money. Ronan didn't walk in as a customer. He walked in as a man looking for rumors that were afraid of daylight. When words run out, Ronan switches to a language even the deafest audience can understand. Sometimes the shortest path to information is through someone's busted face. A few broken jaws, and Vinewood suddenly gets a little more honest. The show ended just as quickly as it started. He took what he came for, not just bruises and busted knuckles, but another piece of the route Vinewood uses to move its secrets out of the city.
At Tequi-la-la, some guy with a broken nose told me the glass room wasn't just a club. It was a pass to Cayo Perico before they ever started bringing tourists there. And you know what? He mentioned that same gold lighter.
Then we're looking in the right direction. A lighter with those chevrons didn't just randomly end up in Rancho.
You want me to go back to that delivery spot? Great. I love visiting clients who already tried to ruin my day once.
Go to Rancho, Ronan, and see what's left around that address. If she's connected, we'll find the thread that leads straight to the glass room. That lighter wasn't jewelry, Ronan. It was a pass. Sometimes an address says more after everyone has already left. Ronan didn't know whose car he was looking at. Someone from the top league of Los Santos had left their signature in the ghetto. Ronan understood just in time that sometimes it's better to simply note the plate and turn the bike around. After the car in Rancho, the plate didn't lead me to a SecuroServ office. It led me to an old runner who once worked for Faber's people. He was a courier moving liquid product for Vinewood parties. People who know the routes rarely live long, but while they're alive, they hide everything at home. I took the bag and headed for Harmony. The runner's house didn't look like a place where big conspiracies are born. But the lock was too expensive for this neighborhood. The place smelled like cheap liquor and the fear of a man who knows someone is coming for him sooner or later. The dog wasn't to blame for his owner moving dangerous liquids. I gave him some food, and in return I found what I was looking for. A small flash drive where Vinewood kept the digital fingerprints of its dirtiest orders. The laptop loaded slowly, like it was resisting what it had to show me. The coordinates led to Thompson's scrapyard. The cult-like games of the glass room turned out to be tightly connected to smuggling a very special product. Someone wasn't bringing memories back from the island. They were bringing back a formula. Thompson's scrapyard always looked like the place where the city digests its own bones. They bring metal here, cars here, and people nobody wants to talk about anymore. This was where the next batch of liquid product was supposed to change hands, and this was where I planned to get to know the suppliers a little better. They posted guards, but they forgot there are no neighbors in the desert to call the cops. Only coyotes waiting for fresh meat. Security always tells the truth faster than paperwork. These people weren't here to guard old engines. They were guarding the silence around a shipment that officially didn't exist. Leaving enemies behind your back is a luxury I couldn't afford. I cleared every corner methodically, because the bullet in your back always comes from the side you decided to ignore. When the last guard dropped onto the rusted metal, I found the first bottle, an elixir for the private parties of an elite club. The liquid inside didn't look like alcohol, though that was how they meant to move it through the city. Vinewood loves hiding poison in pretty packaging. Two more thought they could stop me between piles of scrap. The second bottle confirmed this wasn't some random batch. Now I had the full set of that damned drink. 4 bottles, 4 points on the map. It was a liquid that looked far too much like the pink water from the island, except now it was being bottled for people in expensive suits. West Vinewood was waiting for that bag like it held Holy Communion for rich sinners. I rode back into the city carrying a bag that could either be a ticket to the center of the web or a prison without bars. The game was getting more interesting by the mile. The guard took the bag without asking questions. Now they know that I know, which means they'll either make contact or make a mistake. The factory in Cypress Flats ran non-stop, spitting out the bills Vinewood used to pay for its own sins. But today, Ronan wasn't coming for profit. He was coming for bait. A new buyer had specifically asked for the old series, the same bills used to pay for pink ice at private parties. The guy hanging around the entrance wasn't a buyer, and he wasn't some random junkie. When a stranger loiters outside your factory in Los Santos, there are only 2 explanations. Either he's lost, or someone sent him to check the place out. Ronan didn't bother asking which job he was doing. The route beyond the Sanchiansky mountain range is an old smuggling artery. Ronan took the product and headed to the place where the sea doesn't ask questions. The road beyond the mountains is the border between the part of the city that still pretends to play by the law and the part where the water makes the rules. He wasn't just carrying counterfeit bills, he was carrying an invitation into a closed club. The counterfeit cash wasn't being moved for a sale, it was being moved for a test. When you cross a sect that owns half of Vinewood, the rules change while you're still on the road. They don't call the sheriff. They send the people who erase problems along with their location data. The sky over the coast was getting too heavy. The pier didn't greet him with silence. It greeted him with fire from the sky. A bombing is the signature of people with access to military hardware and no desire to leave witnesses behind. Ronan jumped into the water because sometimes the smartest plan is simply not dying on the shore. The boat was waiting exactly where it was supposed to be, and that was scarier than the explosions.